I started out in biomedical engineering. I really loved it, but I didn't see myself doing it forever. So I switched to another major. I didn't see myself doing that forever. And then, again, being first gen, you don't always know how these things are going to work. My name is Iree Skinkle, and I study business. I wasn't very sure where to go at all, so like many people, I guess I just looked at the rankings, and tech was #1 for a lot of really cool stuff. I visited Atlanta, fell in love with it, visited tech, which was like its own bubble in Atlanta. I figured that business is such a versatile major that I can do almost anything with that. Always been a good number cruncher, so I went into finance, and with that, I was still able to do anything.
My father was an auto mechanic, and my mother stayed home, took care of the kids. And their value wasn't really on education. He told me he wanted to go to university when he was 4 years old. And I said, okay, let's go, let's do it. I didn't have the cash per se, but I always knew that we'd find a way.
I definitely had to relearn how to learn, I think. In high school, I would do my homework, like 30 minutes before I went to school because it was like super easy. It wasn't really challenging at all. Had maybe a little too much pride at first because my high school GPA was like perfect. Everyone here is still very competitive, which I love, but at the same time, like you don't really want to tell people that, hey, maybe I need a little extra help. I would recommend to first-generation students to sign up for clubs, sign up for research, pack your calendar at least that first semester, and if it's too much, bring it down a little bit. But it's definitely worth just really getting out there and discovering as much as possible. Being a first-gen student, one of the largest benefits is I think I'm definitely more resourceful than most people. You don't have your family to tell you about all these little tiny things, and you gotta work on it by yourself, but it's a fun journey. I realized every time I changed my mind or even tweaked my vision a little bit, people were always there to support me, and so I wasn't afraid to edit, my future, I guess you can say.
It's been wonderful getting to know this man that, as he's grown. He's the reason I went to college in the first place. I didn't go to a 4-year university, but he's the reason I went to school and became something that I enjoy being.
First generation high school students that want to go into college, I would definitely say that, if you're not a little bit intimidated, if you're not a little bit uncomfortable, then you're not doing something right. I think people should, love being in an uncomfortable space because that's how you learn. If you're comfortable all the time, then you're just where you always were. In my last semester now, I'm doing part-time with a startup in ATDC, which is a Georgia Tech startup space, and they're doing awesome things with clinical trials, using technology to push research out faster and get medicine to people that need it as quickly as possible.
I don't want his children going through the same thing that I went through, or even some of the things that we went through as a family that I tried to shelter him from, but of course he felt the effects. I feel like his work and diligence has changed our family line forever. Thank you for being you and being true to you always. That's the only thing I ever wanted from you, is that you knew who you were and that you were true to yourself. And you are, and I'm proud.
Well, thank you so much, Mom. Definitely couldn't be here without you. You've always been supportive, and yeah, I love you so much.
I wouldn't be here without you either. I'm so proud.